have been celebrating Latin Restaurant Weeks. New Yorkers can taste all the diverse flavors of Latin America while supporting local businesses and scoring sweet deals.
I love that. That sounds amazing. We've been introducing you to some of the local participating restaurants, and today we are chatting with Que Chevere, which quite literally means how cool. They serve up delicious Puerto Rican cuisine. So joining us, Mike Petrovich, Que Chevere's owner. Hello and welcome.
Welcome to New York Living.
So excited to have you here.
Thank you.
We have been friends for forever on Instagram. So with this, we're finally meeting for the first time.
Here we go, the IRL meetup.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be at the Subway Series tomorrow.
Oh, I won't be there tomorrow.
I will not be there either day.
I'll make sure they comport themselves properly.
Okay.
So talk to us about what made you decide that you wanted to open up Que Chevere.
Yeah, Que Chevere started back in 2018. My son is on the spectrum of autism. And one day we went to a movie theater and I saw a bunch of adults being chaperoned by one lady with 7 envelopes. We went home that night and I told my wife, what happens, when I go upstairs and visit the man? She goes, I don't know. And then my oldest daughter said, hey, why don't you open up a restaurant? You know business operations and I know how to cook. I said, that's the worst idea because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to fail. But later that night, my wife said, hey, name it after my father, Manuel Chevere. I said, that doesn't sound right, but you know something? Que Chevere does. I had a Jackson Pollock moment, went to LegalZoom, GoDaddy, and the rest was history. Now I have 2 locations, and I sell the most food at both locations.
Unbelievable.
I love this story so much.
This is so great.
I do a lot of work for charities that for folks that are on the spectrum.
That's what we were going to ask about. We know that this is a cause
a personal tie.
Yeah, it's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, it is near and dear to my heart. Like, for example, I mentioned we're going to the Subway Series tomorrow. I donated 30 of the 45 tickets to my suites to organizations that assist me with helping getting the word out about the spectrum of autism. I've worked closely with Autism Speaks. I've worked with other autism awareness organizations. And to me, it's just kind of why I got into this crazy industry. If I knew it was this crazy, I would have stayed in the corporate world.
But it's a labor of love. And look at all the good that you're doing. Real quick, before we dive into this delicious food, are we rooting for the Mets or for the Yankees?
I'm sorry, I'm a diehard Met fan.
Okay. Well, you just stay over there.
But you know what brings rival teams together?
Food.
Delicious food. What have you
Talk
brought
to us about these dishes.
Yeah. So the first one over here is a vegan-vegetarian dish because the stereotype with Puerto Rican food is they're going to put you to sleep.
Which 9 times out of 10 it does because it's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. So we use different ingredients not to include pork fat and stuff into these kind of dishes. So this is a chopped up slaw medley with white rice and beans.
Yum.
This is delicious.
I do love me some beans.
I love me some rice and some beans. I'm going to try a little bit.
How do you say beans?
Habichuelas.
Habichuelas.
Although Mexicans say frijoles.
Yes, they do.
There are a couple of different words, but I grew up saying habichuelas.
Habichuelas, okay.
I've never met rice I don't like.
Oh, man. The flavor.
Take your fork.
The flavor.
I see tostones.
Yeah.
Oh, I know those.
Yeah, so this is our #1 seller. It's the Chevere, obviously named after Manuel Chevere. But it's ajo con gandules, which is yellow rice and pigeon peas, fried green plantains, and roasted pork. The pork is very famous because we won a couple awards on Pig Island, some sort of event that happens. But the pork is slow roasted for 8 hours. It's marinated for 36 hours before that, and it just melts off the bone. And we sell. I go through 750 pounds of pork a week at one location.
Buddy.
Holy moly!
All right.
I'm gonna try
this. I'll have a little piece of pork.
Do some pernil. Do some pernil. Some lechon. Pernil is pork.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you're gonna like that rice.
I'm gonna do a little dip into everything.
Last but not least, this is like the national dish of Puerto Rico. Oh, you never have this at home. You go out to eat this.
What is it called?
It's called Mofongo.
Oh.
So Mofongo is a delicacy in the Caribbean, not just by Puerto Ricans, but most of the Caribbean likes Mofongo. This one is our top seller with the shrimp. So we saute the shrimp in a sofrito sauce. The garlic is smashed with, the plantain is smashed with fresh garlic, adobo seasonings, in-house adobo seasonings. We make it into a little ball. We pour the juice around it, and that's Mofongo. And we sell all types. I sell vegetarian one, chicken, steak.
Shy. What is your favorite?
Mine is the chicken.
What's your favorite?
Mariscos, which is seafood, but that is like a true labor of love. And I'm going to do some quality control here.
Okay. All right, Mike Petrovich, thank you again for joining us and for bringing these delicious meals. I got to dig into this, but don't forget that Latin Restaurant Weeks. running currently through June 16th. You have a little time left. Go visit Que Chevere because it's delicious.
Esa salsita es divino.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much.
They say it's the bomb.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent.